let some big ones go this morning. Oh boy, looks like a job site to me. Holy smokes, dude. Yeah, look at this. Isn't that cool? I think I'm gonna call it. I got this guy I can't get, and those guys I can't get. So I trimmed it up as best I could. I'll send you some more pics. Hey, how's it going? I'm here to tell you, when you have your little axe land in your bunker, and you've got axes on the floor, it's probably not very smart to walk around in flip-flops or go barefooted. I got a couple of cuts on my feet over the weekend. But it's summer. It's flip-flops, man. It's flip-flops. Anyway, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing okay. I hope you can wake up in the morning and be energized and ready to attack the day. It just makes such a difference. You know, when somebody says, hey, how's it going? And you go, oh, living the dream, man. You know, it's funny and whatnot for a while, but it's those negative tapes, man. You can't keep playing those negative tapes. You've got to somehow twist that around in your head and go, yeah, it was a rough day, but it didn't get me down. My attitude is still positive. I'm tired, but I had a good day. I just think that's important. I really do. Having a good attitude. But anyway, it's axe time. I still have stuff to clean up in the backyard. A little. Let me see if you guys are okay. Am I okay or am I cutting my head off? Oh, I'm fine. Just not a super long video, just sort of a something to come in and just say hey, and kind of give people a direction on where things are going, and to say thank you. Jay Daniels, new subscriber. I really appreciate it. You are a heck of a guy. Fireman, I really enjoyed your axe sharpening videos. I love that fixture, that piece of steel square tubing that's all notched and stuff. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. You know, knowledge. You know, we that's what this is all about, us sharing our knowledge and you know, reaching out and turning things outward. You know, because just all of us just turning it inward, you just don't get that. You know, you gotta go. You gotta. I don't know how to explain it, but this is better than this. Anyway, that's my thoughts. So anyway, it is axe time, and there's a lot of stuff happening. Even though it's hotter than crap out here in my bunker messy garage. I got an order in. Oh yeah, where's this from? Looks like it's from Chris Killinger. I don't even remember what I ordered, so maybe we'll do that first. And by the way, his handles are the best. The connection he has with the Amish near his house is outstanding. And his attention to detail with these things and their craftsmanship is amazing. So let's see what we got. I can tell I didn't order a 36-inch single bit, which is really what I've been hunting for. I only have one that's going to work on the old Barbarian, but we'll get back to that. I've had to do a lot of work on that. What are these dudes? Oh, these are 30-inch double bit cruisers, I think. Oh dear. Oh, nope, just one. And here's a single bit. Oh, I remember I had to go 30 inches because that's all he had. I mean, if you want a Killinger handle, you better jump on it. Whatever it is. You know? Because they go like that. They go like that. And Whiskey River is still out of their main stuff. And Beavertooth isn't much far behind. And I have to say, I'm actually a little, not disappointed, maybe that's the wrong word, but I was getting ready to fit the Barbarian into this beautiful 36 from Beavertooth, and the cut on the eye is tiny. It won't even fit. It won't even, it's too loose. So I'm having, and I need to get this to my friend because I promised it to him way back in January. But I've been having trouble with this dude. This is a Connecticut pattern, Connie. It's been so rusted. It was so rusted, but it's close to 5 pounds. But it was so rusted, and so you can see, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Those are the laminations in the steel. The rust was very deep, although it still has the temper. You can see the temper line, and it is tempered still. So it's been through many, many baths in WD-40 rust remover. It's been brushed, it's been sanded, it's been brushed, it's been sanded, it's been dipped again, it's been everything short of electrolysis. But I got an idea from a friend. I actually emailed Chris Killinger, and I was like, I've got this deadly head, but I can't seem to stop it from rusting. And so he suggested wire brush it and get it hot enough, and then spray it down in WD-40. And that almost worked. It worked kind of just a little bit. So I was like, all right, well, I'm freaking desperate here. So what I did was I got my torch. This guy. Woo! Got him. And I just heated it up. I just heated the whole thing up. I was trying to be really careful to not get it too hot to mess up the temper. I did not, which is good. And I may end up doing this again. But I heated it up enough, and then I dropped it in motor oil. And that seems to have done wonders for the rust. Because this is going to a childhood friend of mine, and he's a firewood guy. He runs a wood stove probably early fall through early spring. And he's probably chopping firewood right now. So he's expecting this thing, and he's excited about it, so I don't want to let him down. No charge. all my axes are free. I'm not on that level yet, although I do my darn level best. I mean, but I don't feel like I should be charging. I just love doing it right now. I do it for the love of doing it. So anyway, the only handle that I have is this handle that was left over from a group of 4 handles that I bought over the winter time, and the grain orientation is good. But these handles have a little bit of run out in the grain. You can see a little bit of run out. And instead of the grain running in one way, there's multi-directional grain, so it's really hard to draw knife these guys down. But since I have the new sander, it's going to get sanded, and I'm going to contour it. It's really fat and beefy, so I'm going to make it more ergonomic. I'm going to bring this in a little bit to make it look a little more sexy, like this one. And honestly, I would put this one on it. This is a Killinger double, or Killinger single, but for a 5-pounder, I really think this is too thin and too short. And I don't know how good his axemanship is. So we're going to put it on a 36-inch handle, hickory. I have confidence in these handles. One was a fail. I got it all done and started burning, and there was a giant check in it, which became a reject. So I put all of that work into it, and at the very end, when I was getting ready to seat it, when I was doing the burn, I saw this. That's the thing about burning. It's not just a cool look. This is one of those handles. My burning is not quite as even as I would like, but the one thing the burning process does is it allows you to see defects in the wood. Like I can see some sanding marks up here, but anyway, there was a check, a straight line across that, and when I burned it, it was like boom! It came right out at me. So it was trashed, and I had to start over. But these handles come out pretty well. Yeah, these handles. This one is, what is this one? This one is called a True Blue. It's a beat up old jersey pattern that probably got chipped right here. But look at that profile. It's a chopping bugger. It is a chopping bugger. And it's around 4 pounds, maybe 4 plus. It's a bugger. And then, whoa, here, stuff is falling. Oh. This is another one of those handles. And you might recognize this from the video. That was hitting some wedges on Sunday. But this one I took down quite a bit. And really kind of really did some decent draw knife work. Even though, let's see, where is it? Yeah, that knot right there, it's a little teeny knot, but the grain runs this direction, and then it runs this direction, so it was, with the draw knife, whichever way you pulled, you were messed up. But this is an Oval Craftsman, probably from the 30s. And it's sort of the middle of the rotor. It's not sharp enough yet. I've just been using it as a wedge banger. And you can see it was banging wedges when the 372 got stuck. So anyway, that's kind of what we got going on. We have a almost a boy's axe handle. It is so light and it's so thin. I mean, these are almost just, you know, you get the head on this and it's ready for action, ready for a burn in oil. I mean, there's nothing you have to do to this. super thin, very ergonomic. And then this is the same thing. I mean, it's a little thicker, and this is hickory. These are both, I believe, hickory. Yeah. But let me see something here. Hold on. I just had a thought. Ooh, that was not good. Put that in the yuck. Let me check. This is for my friend that's retiring. Oh, dear Lord, this is a Sager chemical. The date on it is 1941, so this is World War II era. And it's the one, I think I've shown it before, that was asymmetrical, so I had to do some major surgery on the grinder with it. You know, this is obviously bigger than this one. But this, for a camp axe, he does a lot of elk hunting in Montana and Colorado and Wyoming. And he and his buddies go pitch camp for a week or so. And this will be a useful axe, because it still has a little bit of choppy left over here. And then he's got this deadly chopping profile, and it kind of has this Viking look to it too. You know what? So here's my dilemma. I don't know how good his axe skills are. And this Killinger handle is for somebody that knows how to handle an axe and isn't gonna break it. This is a Whiskey River, which doesn't quite fit in there yet. I think I'm gonna go with the bigger and longer handle. Jeez, this would be so nimble. I just love how that looks. I love these old Sagers. They're so beautiful. Oh, it's crazy. I don't know, I may have to put them together. I can't decide right now. So what else is going on? Oh, yeah. So while we're here talking about axes and whatnot, I'm getting ready to do, which I've already done some filming, and this may, I may have to make videos in order to make the video, because videos on sharpening, which I've watched a lot, and I've been sharpening since like 1990. I mean, serious sharpening nerd. There's lots of different things you can do, and lots of different ways you can go for different tools. But mainly what I want to do is relate the sharpening to draw knives, because there's been a lot of discussion and talk about draw knives, and a lot of people on YouTube are using draw knives, and they're doing okay with them. I've spent almost 2 years working with these draw knives pretty steadily, and the learning curve has been and this is my main one right here. Little dust. It's an old Greenlee. I think that might be 10 inches. But what I want to do is get you guys some parameters and maybe some tips. Just what I do. This is my baby. I've been sharpening on this once I got my edge. I've got an Arkansas stone here, and I've got a little concavity to that bevel that I did with the diamond. I have 2 stones I use on this. I have an 800 diamond, which is wherever it is. Got it at Walmart. And then this is an Arkansas whetstone. No idea what grit this is, but I've had it for years. And it's flat. So I've got this blade to where when it has enough water on it, that little concavity, you feel that water creates enough surface tension on the blade that you start honing. And that is really what you want to do. Depending on what your purpose is. You know, but I mean, I can feel through this little tiny stone, I can feel the top of that edge. And I've been sharpening on this well over a year. It's like this. After every use, and then you want to flatten. And this is just demonstration purposes, or demonstration porpoises, whichever you want. But you just get that rock in there, and the water grabs it, and you get this evenness. And I don't even do the circle thing. And no, I'm not going to cut the hair on my arm. It's about the wood, it's not about the hair on your arm. It's about what you're cutting and how effective that is. Because you can cut the hair on your arm and have the wrong angle for the wood that you're in and completely ruin the edge that you've spent all this time working on. So, now you're just going to have to take my word for it. I've been honing on this for some time. And I use it as it's intended to be used. I use it as a chisel with the bevel down. I use it for paring with the bevel up. But when the bevel's up, it tends to dig down into the wood. So you really have to get comfortable with this, and you have to screw up a lot. You have to screw up a lot of stuff. So my suggestion is, if you want to get into hafting, I would say yes, buy your Killinger handle. Because my honest opinion, I don't know how long those are going to be around. Hopefully a long time. I'm praying a long time because they are works of art. Beavertooth and Whiskey River are more towards, they're better than going to the hardware store and getting a blank to fix your axe. They're great handles. The selection of the wood is awesome, but it is certainly not what you get from Chris Killinger. So anyway, my suggestion would be to go get a hardware store blank, or just get yourself a block of wood. Go to your hardwood store and get yourself a piece of 8/4, or maybe even start in pine. This is white oak right here, and it's about ready to have something made out of it. This right here was a piece of 6/4 white oak, and I challenged myself one night. I actually was like, you know what? I've got this hatchet head, I've had it for a long time, I want a handle for it, and I can't find any hatchet handles. So I was like, there's your board. I took a pencil, I drew on one side of it, and I just got after it. And I had one piece of 36 grit sandpaper, but this is 95%, 96% Drawknife, and the rest a little piece of sandpaper. It's still not done, but we've got a good fit. I'm not too sure about that, but I just wanted to make something weird and cool. But Drawknives. Getting back to Drawknives. The angle at which you hold it, the more you go horizontal, the less you take, the more you tip it to a point with your bevel down, the more material it'll take. If you stand it up too tall, you'll be scraping. And that works for some people. That doesn't work for me with this knife since I've been honing on it for almost 2 years. I mean, I'm just not going to do it, because what's going to happen, even on a hardwood, if you drag that across here, wherever you drag it, you're going to curl that over, and then your edge is compromised. I've gotten to where I can take a giant, I mean, I can take that whole corner off with the draw knife, but then this is so sharp, and look what I'm taking. Just taking little tiny bits, and the grain's going, but that's why it's tearing. You have to watch your grain direction. I should be pulling it that way. That's why there was a little bit of tear out there. But, I mean, look how small and minute that is. So, I think if I was going to scrape with this, I would have a draw knife, a smaller draw knife for scraping. Just me. This one I've been honing on for just about as long. It has a curvature to it, and it's also wickedly sharp. I like the convexity of it, because I can, if I'm working in a certain situation, in a curvature or a place that isn't like straight-ish, and I can get in there and I can concentrate on one point or a tangent on that blade, and I can see where I'm going. But it's the same concept. It's the same concept. Down, you're getting curls that are coming up in the grain. Turn the bevel up, and you come down, and you're going to dig into your wood. You're going to start hogging a lot of material, and there's everything in between. And the only way to do it is to get them and start farting around with it. I got these guys pretty much specifically for this type of video, because the next question is, where do you get a draw knife? They're not readily available. There's a place called Garrett Wade, and there's other high-end tool places that get draw knives from manufacturers, but there's not a whole lot of manufacturers out there making draw knives. And if you can get a brand spanking new one, it's going to be pretty expensive. I'm going to tell you what, the used ones aren't that much cheaper. Well, they are cheaper, but, here's an old one. This one's a hickory. It's got green paint on it. The rust is pretty light. The handle's cracked here. The little ferrule's loose. But we can work with this. We can clean this up. The main thing you want to look at is the bevel. I don't know if you can see that. All of this surface rust can be polished off. And it's a process. You're not going to get this done in one night. It has just a little bit of curvature to this blade, but that could be to someone sanding. But I don't think it's been used all that much, because I can still see the original grinder marks in it. So all in all, not too bad of a purchase. I think I paid about $48 for this.
And there's some rust that'll have to be removed in there. But even really, this in here from the groove, you know, to the, I guess, spine you would want to call that, because this is welded to this. It doesn't matter what it is. The actual business part of it is this, and then also this back. You want to make that smooth, and you want to make that smooth. You want as little friction as possible. So, I got this one. And that can be repackaged. The first one, the Greenlee up here that I showed you, was in just a little bit better shape than this. And I think I paid about $60 for that one. The handles aren't busted on that, which is a good thing. This is going to need a little more love, but it'll be a worker. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Now, this one, I paid, I think, what did I pay for that? I think I paid under $30 for this. And, well, I kind of did it on purpose because I wanted to show you. The handles are good. The handles are real good. I'll sand all this black paint off, but, oh dear. The back of the blade isn't so bad. We have something that has been set out in the rain before and not been cleaned up. We have some, for a draw knife, I'll say it one more time, for a draw knife, that's a lot of rust. And that's not good. So this one's going to need a lot of work. So obviously, even on eBay, the lower you go, the more you're going to have to do to it. And will it still work? Of course it'll work. But are you going to get these kind of results? No, you're not. It's a combination of the tool being as sharp as it needs to be, and then your skill. And that has to be developed. There's just no other way to do it. So practice. Practice on just junk wood. Practice on pine. Get yourself some hardwood. On old handles, I never throw an old handle away. If it's a really good handle, you might want to make a pattern off of it and save that for actually making a handle, because you can rough out a handle. You can rough out a hatchet handle. I've seen it done. This I roughed out in about 30 minutes, but I've seen other people rough out a hatchet handle in less than 10 minutes. About 7 minutes it took it. And then it was onto the sander. So this is a powerful tool if you can get a handle on it, no pun intended. But the sharpening, it's all about sharpening. Edge tools are all about sharpening, and always paying attention to your sharpening. And sometimes you can't, but those draw knives go from working with them to getting hung back up. So it's also the care and maintenance. So anyway, this is just kind of an overview, and believe me, I've got more tedious and boring videos coming of sharpening, because sharpening is not really all that interesting. It's just not. But if you don't do it, you're just not going to ever have those breakthrough moments. Because you should really have, when you have a tool in your hand and you've got the rough material, you should have that feeling that you're one with your tool. And I know that sounds cliche, but it really is true. These are all made on lathes, axe lathes. But still, when you have a handle, where's that sucker? When you have a handle like this that I could go play baseball with, and you want to get to somewhere, in between, well, what are you going to do? You can sand until the cows come home. But when you're doing an axe handle, it's all about symmetry. So whatever you take off of this side, you need to take off of this side. And it needs to look, it needs to be ergonomic. And so that's why I'm really, really excited about the 2x72 pelt sander, because it is going to, I will be able to rough stuff out with my Drawknife and then take it over to that sander and get them done. So I'm really looking forward to making my own patterns and making my own handles. That's where this is all going. So hopefully you all will be willing to follow along as I'm planning on making hammer handles, axe handles, sledge handles, and the like. Probably not shovel handles, because that's making something round like that. Don't know yet. These were my grandfather's. This is my grandfather's shovel from the 30s, and this was his ditch digger from the 30s. So these are also going to get rehabbed, and I'm going to just putt along with all of this and film it and post it, and please comment, be nice, please be nice. I think with 16 subscribers you all will be nice, I hope so. But so anyway, I am just super pumped about this time last year I was like plotting and planning and dreaming about all of this stuff, and it's finally happening. So I'm really excited, and sharpening is sharpening. That's all I can say. I have a little dry erase board, and there'll be a few videos on nerding out on sharpening. I'll try to keep it interesting, but it's just not. So anyway, from Axeland, be happy, be safe, be kind to people. I just started smiling at people just for the heck of it, going to the thrift store or whatever, and not the thrift store, the Circle K or whatever your mini mart is, but just smile at people and say hello. It really makes a difference. People their shoulders kind of relax a little bit and they smile back, and it's really a good thing. Oh dear me, goodness. I think somebody stepped on a duck, and it must be dinner time. It's a little late for dinner time. But anyway, I need to shut this down, and more to come, more sharpening to come. See you soon.